This weekend, we celebrate a great day in Mexican history by having some people fist fight in a cage. While I'm not Mexican, I can still celebrate with the people by playing Underdog Fantasy. And if that isn't an all-time transition, I don't know what is. If you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than any of the numbers on the screen, you slap a few of them together, and you can make a whole bunch of money. They'll even give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog. Use promo code WWP. That's wewantpicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWP. All sorts of deposit matches and offers to get your free money to go ahead and play. I'm going to focus on the Noche UFC fight card, but you can see here across the top, it's all sports. Lady sports, men's sports, it's all sports. You can mix and match sports. You can do juice. You can adjust the lines. It's insanely flexible. It's a ton of fun. Get the free money. wewantpicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWP. Let's go ahead and build our entry. I will say this is a little bit of a tricky type card. That's because we have a bunch of UFC debuts. We have a bunch of competitive matchups and a bunch of fights that can go in multiple different directions. But I still found 4 legs that I like quite a bit. The first, right off the rip, is the main event. I do think John Silva is going to win. I think he beats the piss out of Diego Lopes. I also think Diego Lopes is incredibly tough and incredibly durable, and I don't think he's going to smoke him in a minute. They set the round line at 2.5. The higher is actually juiced. And honestly, I do think that hits. So if you just want to play it straight, go for it. I do think we end up with multiple rounds here. But if I want to be extra safe, I'll go ahead and I'll adjust this line. So let's go ahead and lower it. 2.5 minutes. Seems a little ridiculous. Let's go to 7.5. We'll do the higher on 7.5 minutes. So while it's not the same juiced payout it was, it's a far safer leg, and most of this is about just making money week in and week out. So let's take the safe leg there. They call me Safety Ange. That's why I only have 2 kids. If I wasn't practicing safe things in my personal life, my wife and I would have 38 kids. Anyway, back to this, and what a weird tangent that was. We're going to start with the John Silva higher. You could stick with the 2.5 rounds. I'm doing 1.5 because I'm Safety Ange. If we work our way down, the co-main event, listen, I think Rob Font just out-techniques, out-veterans David Martinez, so I do think the fight time goes over, so I think we're good there, but to err on the side of Rob being old as shit and David Martinez being fast and dangerous and young, and we're just going to leave that one alone. Rafa Garcia, his takedown line is an appealing one, and if this fight was 3 years ago, I'd be all over the higher than 1.5. But in reality, he's more of a pot-shotting striker as of late and not that grindy, push-forward wrestler that he used to be. So we're going to leave this one alone. I do think the higher on fight time is solid there as well. Dustin Stolfus, Kelvin Gastelum, what a mess that. Have you ever seen a Kelvin Gastelum fight that went the way you expected it to? No. So we can't be betting on fights or doing daily fantasy on fights like that. What I do like here, the Diego Ferreira, I go ahead and hit the lower on finishes. While Diego may win this fight because Alexander Hernandez is very fair-skinned and he reds and he bleeds and he bloodies early, that may work against him on the judges' scorecards. But I don't think Diego's going to finish Alexander. Alexander is incredibly durable. Alexander, I think, outright wins this fight. And you guys know, if you've watched these before, doing the lower on the underdog for finish is a great line. I absolutely love adding those to the mix, so we're going to go ahead and throw that in. Quang Lee, Santiago Luna, let's go ahead and leave that one alone. I do like the higher on the fight time there. These guys will probably get after it. Border Boy is not afraid to engage, but we'll leave that alone because he's a UFC debut and there's lots of unknowns. Todorovic and Medina, the lower on fight minutes is probably solid there. Let's go ahead and add this. This is not a line I had previously today, but looking at it right now, 15 minutes, 2 dudes that can get after it, 2 dudes that can be finished. My only hesitation, the reason I did not add this earlier is because Jose Daniel Medina is tough as shit. He got finished in his last fight, but that dude hits like a freight train. So we're going to leave this here for now. I'll talk through that and I'll show you what I didn't do before. Joaquim Silva, Claudio Puelles, not touching that. This dude's a butt scooter. Amanda Lemos, Tatiana Suarez. We kind of got burned on more than 3.5 takedowns last week with Sam Hughes because she was so dominant, and this feels like it could be the same, so I'm not going to touch that. We've got 2 more lines that we're going to add. One is the higher on Alessandro Costa's significant strike line. He has gotten past that number in every single UFC fight except the Amir Albazi one. That is a lot of historical data to go off of, so we're going to go off of it. Coria's tough. Coria's a local dude. I think Costa works fast. I think he works heavy. I think he gets his strikes in, and I think he cruises past this number. And then if we go to the Ultimate Fighter finale, Daniil Donchenko and Rodrigo Sezinando, we're doing higher on the 10 fight minutes. Rodrigo Sezinando is very, very tough. Daniil Donchenko is also very, very tough. Daniil's a little more dangerous than Rodrigo. I think this fight goes long. I think it's actually going to end up being kind of boring. So we're going Daniil Donchenko. This is the entry that I just showed you. I'll show you the one I built before this. We got higher on John Silva, but we moved that line to 7.5 fight minutes. Lower on Diego Ferreira finish. Lower on Dusko Todorovic fight minutes. Higher on Alessandro Costa's significant strikes, and higher on the fight minutes for Daniil Donchenko. If we go ahead and take a look at the one I actually did, it's the exact same thing minus the Todorovic line. This is the entry I built. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine. Fade the shit out of me. Get the free money. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWPicks.